So today we're actually going to do an update on the ADA 60P. So it's been a while since I updated, and I actually don't know what update I did last and what stage of this tank was at. I'm guessing the last update was probably the first month or so, and I don't think I've ever really updated since then, and that's kind of my bad. Of course, so many other projects have been going on, and so I'm trying to do as much content as I can, and sometimes tanks like this just kind of slip out of the way, and it's been grown in so much and changed so much since then, of course. So today I'm coming back, make sure I definitely do a video today and show you guys what's been going on. So I'm actually going to be doing a trimming today on these back stems. They've been getting a little long, so those will get chopped down today, but I'll still give you guys an overall update. And then I might even come back to you at the end of the video and kind of show you guys what it looked like afterwards. If not, obviously if you guys have Instagram, Facebook, you guys get to always see behind the scenes of updates on this tank, to where you guys can always see what's going on with this tank, because obviously YouTube is only so often when I upload. So yeah, like I said, not sure where I left off, but yeah, everything's just basically what you saw last time, but times 10, and actually growing and doing really well. This tank, there's still some things I want to do here and there on this tank, but it's pretty much turning out the way I wanted to. It's looking really, really good. All the pinophilia that, vining down like I wanted, it's doing good. All the epiphytes, the Bucephalandra, actually, a lot of it's transitioning, and like you can see a lot of the new growth is coming in. Obviously, our star of the show is the Brownie Ghost, and we actually added some other rare Bucephalandra. This is Helena Thick, and then I'll show you another cooler one in the back as well. But yeah, all the moss are growing. I've actually had to retie and cut that a couple of times already, and today I might even try to trim it today. I don't know if I'll keep that moss there long term. It's just with moss, you trim it and it gets everywhere. Of course, I can probably siphon it as I trim, but moss in general just sometimes is a big pain. You can see that huge bush that's going right there. It's just, I might just get a lot of Ricardia and just basically fill that whole thing up with Ricardia, and it'll still look just as nice, and it'll be a little bit slower grower. But you can kind of see how I have it over here, actually on the log with Ricardia, and it looks so nice. So that's probably what I'll end up doing. When I can gather up a lot of Ricardia, that's probably what I'll end up changing it to. But I might even, honestly, I might even do that in this video today, because I do have quite a bit of Ricardia that I think I could probably steal off of this, and because I don't need much, I can just get tear off this moss and just kind of do a few spots of Ricardia, and then just go from there, and then I can always add more once stuff grows in a little bit more. But yeah, the Atra on the back's looking really good. It's, really red. It's really looking really good. Nice and purling. And then we got this guy right here, which is, actually, this is Helena Thick. That was my bad. And then up here is actually Ghost Round. So kind of like Brownie Ghost, but it's in the Ghost species. But so it does get kind of purple and pink, just like the Brownie Ghost 2011, but, obviously not as rare. So, and then another Brownie Ghost 2011 on this one, which is coming back. This was just like an extra piece that fell off that I glued here, and it actually has 3 leaves, coming in 4 now. But you can just see the Ricardia in this tank. This is probably the best Ricardia I've ever grown. It's just been looking so good, and I don't know what the deal with this tank and why it's growing so much better in here. Maybe it's because of this light isn't as strong, and mosses and stuff like that. Obviously Ricardia is technically not a moss, but I don't know, it's just still high light, but not maybe not as intense as some of the 88s that I run sometimes. I don't know if that's it, or honestly I don't know, but whatever's going on, it's doing great. So yeah, so basically the Java ferns coming in, a lot of the crypts are finally kind of peeking out. So like I said, there's still stuff trying to establish in this tank, but it's definitely going really good. Even the near leaf is coming in a little bit. But basically right here, I've been trying to get Pink Panther to establish. I probably will get it again. The first batch melted away because this tank was fairly new. And then the second time, it actually fell out of the crack and then got stuck somewhere, and it just ended up melting because it was just getting blasted with flow. So I need to definitely get a big chunk of it, or maybe an established piece on somebody, and really bury that in there in that crevices, because I really want something in that center right there. And I think a crypt like Pink Panther would look really nice. It would just contrast so well against all this green that's already going on in this tank. So I think that would be the next step for this tank, is for sure next little upgrade. But yeah, all the pinophilia, this was getting kind of crazy, so I actually trimmed it back, and it's growing really nice and compact now. And basically how I want it, because I might even still come back and trim it back a little bit, because I'm trying to keep this nicer, because this is a cool Bucephalandra here. I need to look up I need to relook up the names of some of the pieces I have in here, but it's more of a narrow leaf Bucephalandra, but it still gets really blue as you can see. So I'm trying to keep all that, brushed back so I can actually have colonies really starting to establish and not get taken over by something that just grows way faster than it. So, and that's kind of what this tank's kind of going to become is kind of like almost like a boost grow out. Of course, eventually I'll have like just straight grow out tanks for some of these boosters, but this will be, a tank that I always put rare boosters in and have as a grow out. You can even see some of these. You can just see how pink the leaves are coming in. Some of these cool ones, you can see the blues. I mean, there's just so many. I think there's like 20 species of Bucephalandra in here. There's so many. I mean, every time you look at this tank, you see a new one. So it's really cool. I just did Bucephalandra Island. And honestly, this tank will eventually be contest later this year. It'll be just an extra submission. It's nothing fancy, but I do want to submit it because I think it does look really sweet. And that's probably what I'll name it. The title will be something Bucephalandra probably just because of the fact that there's so much in here for sure. But yeah, everything else is doing good. Of course, I do have all top off in here, for easy access. Of course, this is an office building and my mom's work. So obviously I'm not here 24/7, so auto top off just to kind of top it off here and there so it doesn't get too low during the week. But then, yeah, I'm still running the Waza. I got an inline diffuser, paintball with the CO2s on the paintball with the GLA reg. So my average setup, so you guys always see. And then I'm still running the Neo pipes. I actually probably need to bring the spring brush next time around and see if I can clean those up a little bit to get those looking nice and pretty again. But the only other thing is all the immersed growth that you see. So all this is lobelia, and up here is hydrophila. It's getting really pink too. This stuff just looks so sweet. So lobelia is actually, depending where you are, because obviously if you're watching this, you may be in different places. But here where I live in the Midwest, in the United States, the lobelia is actually a local species in the rivers and lakes, and it actually grows really tall flowers. And so it's really cool. It's aquatic form. Of course, it probably won't ever get as big as it does, out in the wild, but it looks really cool, and under intense light, it just gets really purple and pink, which looks super nice. And then I also have Luigia it's kind of not, it's really red. It's kind of just stringing out right now, but I'm hoping that it's kind of like this, how it just starts like kind of growing out of the water once it kind of stiffens its stem up a little bit. I think that would look really nice. But yeah, it's just all looking really nice. Obviously, this is all lobelia, and then I do got the hydrophila, like this Taiwan, and yeah, it's doing pretty well. I did have more, but this is like the only piece that made it in it, so it's slowly growing back and getting a big colony. But the lobelia definitely is a showstopper here. It just looks so good. But yeah, that's pretty. And then stock wise, I don't think there were stock in here the last time you guys saw this, so I actually went with a bunch of chili rasboras. So these guys are really sweet. Obviously, if you know chili rasboras, I mean, if you've had them, you know how awesome they are. They're just so tiny, and you just get a bunch of them in here. They just look so sweet. I do want to add more to this tank for sure. I think there's like 24 or something here. I definitely want to add probably double that. Have a good, 3 or 4 dozen in here going. Because, of course, when it gets really planted like this, they do tend to, they don't show up as, much, and you don't see as much schooling. When you have a whole bunch, I mean, one problem is I had a bunch jump at one point, so I actually had more. I just need to replenish, and now there's a lid on there. I've never lost a single one since, so that's good. So I definitely need to replenish the schooling, and yeah, they school so awesome in this tank when I did have a lot, so I definitely want to replenish that. But yeah, other than that, if you guys have questions on the tank, any equipment-wise, anything I missed I didn't really talk about, or plant list, any of that, you guys can let me know down in the comments. Also, my Instagram, Facebook, JJ Aquariums. Facebook, I am down on my name on Facebook's just my name, so Johnny Johnson. But other than that, comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one.